We had another injury scare and some more prospect promotions up next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5 on Wednesday, June 19th. I am Frank Stampfl, joined by Chris Towers, and for the second time in the past 3 days, we had a high-profile player get hit in the hand by a pitch. This time it was Aaron Judge, who was removed from the game after getting hit by a 95-mile-per-hour fastball on his left hand. Originally, he stayed in to play some defense, but later on, he left before his next at-bat. Apparently, x-rays and CT scans came back negative for any structural damage, which is good news. My guess is he'll miss a day or two here. Chris, do you think we are completely in the clear following this injury scare for Judge?
I mean, we can't say completely. Right. He got hit by a fastball. That's never good. And given the way this season has gone, I'm hesitant to ever assume a best case scenario right now. But yeah, if the X-ray and CT scans came back negative, you would think the primary concern with a hit by pitch on the hand is a broken bone. We can rule that out, it seems. So I'm with you. I think hopefully it's just a day or two and we'll see Aaron Judge back in the lineup. So Yankees have dodged a couple bullets here in the last 2 weeks.
Let's talk about some other big news, and Max Scherzer will make his season debut Saturday against the Royals. He had off-season back surgery and then battled thumb and forearm injuries throughout his rehab. If you play in a daily lineup league, I would personally play it safe and not start Max Scherzer here. What do you think?
Yeah, he was velocity was down on his rehab assignment, both before and after the shutdown. So I would play it safe. I'm hopeful that Max Scherzer can still be a very useful fantasy option. I'm not expecting him to be a difference maker, though. I think he has to prove it at this point.
Bichette was placed on the IL with a right calf strain retroactive to June 15th. As a result, they promoted one of their top prospects, Orelvis Martinez, who is 22 years old, has played 63 games at AAA this season, where he hit .260 with 16 home runs, .866 OPS, big exit velocities. It could be a short stay. I know hitter prospects have let us down plenty so far this season. Chris, any interest in Orelvis Martinez?
Yeah, and Toronto has been a frustratingly tough place for hitters the past couple of seasons since they kind of redesigned the interior and changed some of the dimensions. So it a lot working against any prospect who makes the leap at this point. And Martinez is one of these guys who, like, the fantasy community has been very excited about this season, especially, and kind of pounding the table, wondering why he hasn't gotten called up. And the prospect community at large is maybe a little less convinced that he's a difference maker. You know, there's some swing and miss in his game, obviously. There's a lot of pull side power, a lot of raw power there. But, you know, this is a type of prospect that we've seen falter this season. I'm going to say Orelvis Martinez, probably someone who deserves to be picked up in most leagues, but yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if we get to 8 or 9 days from now and we're talking about him getting sent down for, you know, a healthy Bichette.
Yeah, I think deeper leagues for now, 15-teamers, AL-only leagues, things like that. Anything else?
It's tough because he's shortstop only right now.
That's exactly
it. The deepest position in fantasy.
So many shortstops have emerged throughout the course of the season. Does make it tough for Orelvis Martinez. The last news item, Anthony Rizzo was officially placed in the IL with a right forearm fracture. He'll be shut down from all activities for 5 weeks, which means he'll likely miss 8 weeks of game time. And as a result, the Yankees promoted one of their prospects, Ben Rice, who is 25 years old. He's mostly played catcher in the minors, but also has some experience at first base. And in 60 games between AA and AAA this year, .275 batting average, .393 on base, 15 homers, 9 steals, .925 OPS. The same concerns remain. It's a tough transition for hitting prospects, but Ben Rice has catcher eligibility on CBS. Even if he's just a strong side platoon player for the Yankees, he could have value in 2 catcher leagues.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me, is that as long as he has catcher eligibility where you're playing, it's hard to make a case against adding him in any 2 catcher league, just because there are certainly fewer than 24 or 30 must-start catchers, depending on the league size you're playing in. Rice, good plate discipline, good contact skills, hits the ball in the air consistently. Obviously, a great lineup and a great park for him to be in. So, yeah, I think there's a chance, and maybe a pretty good one, that Ben Rice is at least a starting caliber catcher moving forward. If not, I'm going to guess you're not going to miss whoever you have in your number 2 catcher spot right now. So I'll take the flyer on Ben Rice. I would say he might even be more of a priority on waivers in any 2 catcher league than Orelvis Martinez, despite the fact that I think Martinez is probably the better prospect overall.
Yeah, I have 2 catcher leagues where I'm starting Corey Lee, Jose Trevino.
I've seen people say that they're not putting a second catcher in their lineup. Like it can be that bad. So yeah, I'll take the flyer on Ben Rice.
All right, for more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Odyssey app, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.